we finally have a TCP listener. Now we need an infinite loop, and on every iteration our code will check for new connections. Like many other languages, Rust has the concept of a while loop. To execute a while loop, we use the while keyword followed by some statement. For example, if we want an infinite loop, we can just follow it with true, but this can be any conditional statement, and this is followed by the loop body. Okay, this is one way to implement an infinite loop, because the body of the loop will be executed until the program exits. However, because infinite loops are quite common, Rust has a special type of loop exactly for that purpose. Instead of writing while true, like we did here, we can just use the loop keyword, and now this is an infinite loop. The body of this loop will be again executed infinitely, but it's just a nicer syntax. Like in many other languages, we can use break to exit the loop, or we can use continue to jump to the next iteration of the loop. One cool feature of loops in Rust is that they can be labeled. Let's imagine that we have two nested loops, and now we can, for example, break the inner one. But what if we actually want to break the outer loop from the body of the inner loop? To do this, we have to annotate the loop with some label. The syntax is an apostrophe followed by the label that we want. In our case, let's name this one outer, followed by a colon. So now we can actually refer to this loop with the outer label. And from the body of the inner loop, we can just say break and then the label of our loop. And now this will actually break the outer loop. The same will also work with continue. But for our case, we would not need a nested loop, and we also don't really need a label. Let's leave our code with an infinite loop for now, and in the next video we'll start to explore how we can actually accept new connections on our TCP listener.